Ever since I bought my F-150, I haven't been a real big fan of the grill up here. I actually tried to solve this problem by buying a grill inlay from 300 Industries, but it was a little bit of a bigger project than I had anticipated. Now, in order to install a grill inlay, you actually have to cut up your factory grill, or in this case, your aftermarket one. So that was a bigger project than I had anticipated, and I just decided to go ahead and put it in the garage, and it's been collecting dust for a long time. Well, today we're gonna tackle this project because between my front bumper, the headlights, I really feel like the grill is the only thing my truck is missing. Now we're just going to take it a little step further by not just installing the grill inlay, but we're actually going to paint the black grille surround here to paint match the blue flame metallic of my F-150. And in order to do that, because I'm not a pro painter, we're going to be using spray paint, but not just any spray paint. Touchupdirect was kind enough to send over their aerosol platinum kit, which includes primer, paint, clear coat, and all the accessories you could possibly need to tackle a project like this. So enough procrastinating, let's go ahead and tackle this project. All right, now that it's unbolted, we just need to unclip it from the hood here. Now, I didn't show that in detail or get into detail about how to do that because it was a mess under here. There was like screws, all sorts of things that you wouldn't expect if yours was more like from the factory. So clearly when they installed this grill, or whoever installed this grill, didn't really care and just wanted the job done as quickly as possible. So things were a little bit wonky in there. Now there should be some clips holding this in place, and honestly, they're probably already broken. That one's out. I can see it here. Okay. Oh, something just fell. Now it's time to start cutting. Now, if I wasn't painting the grille surround, I probably would apply some masking tape or some kind of protection around the edges. And that is officially trash. Now I did make a little bit of a mistake right here because I wasn't paying attention to where the sawhorse was, and the saw hit it, kind of bounced up a little bit, left a little bit of a mark. This is what I'll be using to fill in the scratches. It's a glazing and spot putty. I have some 500 grit sandpaper that I'm going to use to try to get this smooth again. Now that the scratches are filled, we are going to sand down the black paint so we can then spray the primer. I'm gonna use 600 grit, and then I just have this sponge block that I'm gonna kind of use to form it around to give me a nice even sanding. Now that the grill is all sanded down, I'm actually gonna use this wax and grease remover to clean it. Ideally, when you paint a body panel for your vehicle, you want it set up to paint the same way that it is on the car. Hence why I put it in this orientation with a makeshift rack. I wouldn't necessarily recommend other people do this because all I'm using is a couple screws into the studs in the back, but it's working, it's holding, and I'm going to hope that a giant gust of wind does not come into my garage and knock this onto the ground. I'm gonna apply the first coat of primer, and I'm actually gonna be using a spray gun. Now this is an optional accessory, but it does really help with finger fatigue, or just makes it a lot smoother when you're applying paint so you're not getting inconsistent spraying. So I'm a big fan of these. I've actually used these in the past. It's also important when you're painting to use some kind of mask or respirator. So that's what I'm gonna be doing once we start laying down some paint. All right, now we're gonna sand it. We're gonna use some 800 grit sandpaper and get it nice and smooth. Now that we've given the grill a good sanding, it's time to prepare it. I'm gonna use this tack cloth that was provided in the kit to wipe it down before we do the first coat of paint. So other than where either I didn't do enough primer or I sanded a little bit too heavy, looking pretty good overall, pretty happy with it. Let's throw some paint on it. All right, guys, well, I said I wasn't a professional painter, and it shows. So what I did was I laid down the primer and then I sanded it down, but I actually sanded down to the black of the original Grille Surround. Well, when I went to do that first base coat of blue, I could see that coverage was gonna be an issue where it was primed and where the black was showing through. So in a moment of haste, I decided to prime the whole grill again, but that could potentially lead to an issue because now I have primer, paint, and primer on top of that. When I do the new coat and the clear, there could be an issue arise. And honestly, I want this looking as good as possible. I wanted to show you what you can get with the spray can job in your garage. So I think the best thing for me to do is to sand it all back down, and then we'll do a fresh coat of primer before I do the base coat. But honestly, this is a blessing in disguise because what I'm gonna do in addition to that is I'm gonna sand this down where the old grill was a little bit more. So when I go to set the inlay in there, it's a little bit smoother. I don't have to worry about fighting these little nubs that are left over from the original grill. Also though, I'm actually gonna set the inlay in there and mark the holes for where I need to drill, so I'm not drilling holes for the brackets that hold the inlay once this has been painted. So I really want to reduce the amount of times that I take the grill in and out of the freshly painted Grille Surround. Here is the back of the grill inlay. You may have noticed that I already inserted the bolts. So it basically is a bolt, a washer, and then a nut. I will say that the instructions for this are pretty terrible. They do give you this long document of how to install it. They even tell you, when in doubt, turn to the internet for a wealth of installation tutorials for similar products that may guide you. It does include pictures. It's just not very clear. It's not very easy. So basically, all that you need to do is install the bolts that aren't going to be used for brackets. And then you need to line this up in the Grille Surround, drill your holes, and then put it back, bolt it in. So way simpler than the pages and pages of instructions that they got going on here. Of course, they do cover cutting the grill, taking the grill out, cutting it up, and then the locations for where the bolts and the amber lights, because this does have Raptor style lights. I don't have an underlay, so there are some additional holes in it, which you would think if you don't have that, maybe they could CNC or cut it out without those holes, but of course, they include the instructions as well as the holes in the grill. By the way, here's how to put the gun on the can. There's two little levers right here that move that. So you press those and it opens it up. Open it up and it closes. So easy. Just make sure to turn it around. So the Grille Surround has had some time to cure, and now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to polish it. First, we are going to wet sand it. So they provided some sandpaper here. I believe this is 2000 grit. In addition to that, Touchupdirect also provided some polishing compound. So we are going to wet sand the Grille Surround. We're gonna get it nice and flat, and then we're gonna hit it with our polish to bring back that shine, because after you wet sand, there will be kind of a dull haze over the surface. But if you put in some elbow grease with a microfiber, you're gonna get that almost OEM style finish. It's gonna look real good with the rest of the truck. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and start working on before we install the grille inlay into the grille surround. Erica and I just finished kind of some fine sanding and polishing around the small edges. So we did along the bottom and along the edges here, but we actually only wet sanded the top because we figured that was a bigger area. It's probably safer if we use a polisher. Well, it couldn't have came at a better time. Our new channel sponsor, Berserker Tools, who make a lot of affordable tools that they sell on their website and on Amazon, are sponsoring the channel by providing us with tools. And the first one to arrive was this cordless polisher. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot right here at the top of the grill guard.
I'm excited.
All right, do you wanna unbox it and see what we got?
Yes. Looks like it has its own little bag for storage. I'm guessing these are all the different pads that you can use. Yep. So I'll let you take a look at that and decide what you want to do. Then we have the actual like foam pads. This one is like a wave. This one is flat. And then, bam.
And there should be batteries and a charger in there.
There it is. They're just in boxes.
Oh look, it came with 2000 grit sandpaper too.
Oh wow.
And a wash mitt. All right, let's see which one of the, I'm guessing it's gonna be.
So this is the charger right here.
Nice.
I'm guessing these are the batteries. Yeah, that's one.
Honestly, a smaller, lightweight polisher might be the new move for me because normally I use one of the big ones that has cords, and just having the freedom of the cord not getting caught and the lightweightness of this is like pretty good.
We're gonna go ahead and use this, and we're gonna put this along the edges of the outline because we don't want the inlay to fall through, scratch up anything as we're trying to install it. Let me hand tighten it.
So along with the amber lights that it came with, it also came with a relay switch and a button to wire to the inside. But I'm gonna be honest with you, even though it says they don't recommend to wire this any other way, except for with the relay, we're just gonna go ahead and wire it to the daytime running lights that I have enabled on the truck. So we're gonna go ahead and wire this to the parking lamps. It looks like we have red and black per wire. Cool. Got our solder, got our heat shrink. So what I'm thinking is I'll take the red and black of each of these, I'll combine them, and then I will string them to a new set of 16 gauge red and black wire, and this wire will be what I run to my parking lamps in the truck. Ready?
Yep.
That's like perfect. Right here I have a blue and yellow wire as well as a black wire, so I'm going to use the blue and yellow. I'm assuming that's our positive, and that black is probably our ground. So I'm going to go ahead and tap into those with our little wire that we made. So our red is our positive and our black is our negative on this one. So we'll take our red to the blue and yellow, and we'll take our black to the black.
Ready for the storm when it's coming, we don't duck and hide. Nah, hit the ground thumping, we the type to take the night out. I ain't glad mine, man.
The project is finally complete. I love the way it looks between the black grille, the amber lights, and the paint match grille surround. If you're interested in tackling a project like this, I will leave all the links down below. And hey, if you need to touch up your vehicle or your truck, I will leave the link down below to Touchupdirect because their paint was a perfect match for my blue flame metallic truck. Catch you guys on the next video.
Snatching ranks with everything on the grind daily. It's about respect, catch the vibe wavy.